The condition report confirms what we were expecting as a city. It shows that the city is in remarkably good financial health and has made a pretty extraordinary recovery over the past 5 years, at least from where we were on the brink of bankruptcy, right now to having projected surpluses and a fund balance, a little bit of a nest egg to address infrastructure and other issues. It does make clear, however, that our success has been due to the success of Act 47 in that we were granted a sort of extra taxing authority, and that extra taxing authority accounts for over $11 million a year of our $60 million budget. So you could say 20% of our budget is coming from the extra taxing authority of Act 47. So the issue is whether or not we will be able to keep that authority and exit Act 47, or whether or not we will be forced to lose that authority and therefore end up back in receivership. And an exit strategy, in my opinion, has to include keeping what we have, because what we have is working. So I think what people need to understand is that we're going to need legislative change. So the legislature is going to have to act at some point, and we'd like them to do that sooner rather than later. Without the $11+ million in 2021, that's the real deficit, because that's what would send the city back into receivership or bankruptcy if it's not addressed. And the city can't afford to lose 20% of its budget. Right. It would take us back to square one. And why would we want to go back to square one when we've come so far and everything's good? So I think we're in the home stretch, and it's just a matter of educating the legislature and working together to craft something that helps Harrisburg stay in recovery mode and stay successful moving forward. It was a painful process to have to give up the incinerator and to have to pay extraordinarily high tipping charges. It was painful for the city to have to hand over its parking assets for 40 years. But at the same time, that was the price we paid for having hundreds of millions of dollars in debt. And the mismanagement behind that, we basically were able to reverse. We got rid of the long-term debt, and we are now in a stable position. So we're really much better off than we were, and I think have come back even faster and stronger than maybe people anticipated.